What up? What up? What up, everybody? How you guys doing? Sorry for being a little bit late today. We I had a podcast episode that went a little bit long, but we are just waiting on Caleb to hop in. He's going to be in here in any second. And you see, we got Caleb in the building. Told you we weren't going to be waiting long. So Caleb, sorry about that, man. I had that episode go. It was about 10 minutes long, but we're here. We're here to talk fantasy football in week 15.
All good, my guy. And you know what, Andrew, so I decided to go live for 15 minutes before you did that. So we have some people that will be transitioning over. I told them that we were jumping back in live. So they should be all good to go here. And they were asking some really good questions. So they said they got a few more. So I told them to hop in and we'll get this thing popping.
Dope. All right, man. Well, let's get it. We how many of these questions in here have you got to up to this point? Any?
Let me see where are we at here.
We got Zonal. He says, "What's up? Should I start Brees Hall
So
or
so
HN?"
I haven't gotten to any of these because I was doing my own thing. So all these are for us.
Okay. All right. So here's where we are. Week 15, Brees Hall or HN.
And this is what I wanted to talk to you about because I have a lot of similar questions. Like I said, Swift or HN above. And I feel like it's hard because right now we know no Tyreek Hill. So you're like, wow, it's going to be the Raheem Mostert, Waddle, Devon show. But can we trust this guy's health? I mean, I think that's like the big thing for me. I personally feel like I lean Brees here in this matchup just to play it safe / has similar upside. But I want to hear your thoughts because, I mean, Devon is the absolute game record, game league winner that we could potentially have in our lineup this week.
Yeah, I think in my rankings this week, I do have Brees Hall ahead of HN. When you look at Swift and HN, that's that same question that you put in here. I do have Swift above him. I think I'm kind of in the same boat as you, where it's yes, there's the ability of HN being a game breaker, but there's also the ability of HN being a game wrecker. And if you want that, it's just a very risky play to play in your fantasy football playoffs. I think my approach with HN would be if you need a ceiling play, you need a guy who maybe you are projected to lose your matchup here in the playoffs, or we had some Thursday and Saturday football, so maybe you had a guy go off against you. Maybe you were playing against Sam Laporta, who did have a huge day. Well, maybe you need to combat that, and you do throw HN in there because the ceiling is so high. But if those guys that you're playing against, they didn't really go off, it might be better to throw that safe floor in there with a Brees Hall or something like that. So I think it's a little bit situational with HN, but he definitely has some risk to him this week.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same exact board as you. And so that's where like I said, I'm still struggling, just like I'm sure all of you guys are struggling as well. And we were talking about too, like recommending, I don't know how many teams you have that are in the first round of the playoffs that don't have a bye that have Jalen Hurts, but making sure that if you have Jalen Hurts right now, go pick up Marcus Mariota so that you don't get screwed. If you want to wait for that upside, because we had a discussion. Who was it? I think it might have been Quinn. Quinn, it might not have been you. I forget. But someone said, do I start Matthew Stafford or Jalen Hurts? And it was like, well, Matthew Stafford's got a great matchup, QB7 for me this week, but Jalen Hurts would be higher. Do you risk it for the biscuit? Depends on kind of how your team and who you're playing and what the outlook looks like.
Yeah, it's that's the thing, man, is in these fantasy playoffs, a lot of this is situational because it is going to be, how is your opponents played? And we do have the benefit. It is a benefit to us to have had Thursday and Saturday football because we can kind of make these lineup decisions on Sunday and Monday night football based on some context. Usually you're just kind of like, okay, I got a hunch of what's going to happen, but we've actually seen some things happen. So as far as, how many teams I have Jalen Hurts on that are not, bye teams, none. Honestly, I don't have really any shares of Jalen Hurts really anywhere. But I do have a lot of fantasy teams. All of my fantasy teams are actually playoff teams. So that's a good accomplishment, I guess. But a lot of them have Josh Allen. I've had a lot of Josh Allen this year. But yeah, man, I think it's just going to be interesting. A lot of them had Justin Herbert too. So I'm playing Flacco's this week and Baker Mayfield's and a whole bunch of other stuff, just trying to throw stuff together. But yeah, man, that's just kind of where I'm at. But I see we have George here. He says, with Olave out, should I start Waddle, JSN, or pick up Shaheed?
You got to roll out Waddle.
It's Waddle for me. And he says non-PPR. Tyler says you work too hard. I'm assuming this is to you, a conversation you had earlier, Caleb. He says, I suggest you take a nap. And then Nino says, What's up? Both probably good options, but do I go Chiefs defense versus New England or Falcons versus Carolina?
I got Chiefs higher.
You got Chiefs higher.
I
I
do.
like Falcons defense, especially too because of the weather that we're gonna have in Carolina today. Could be a sloppy game, lots of turnovers, which will be good for your defensive special teams. So either way, I don't really mind it. I think if I look at where I have both of them, um, let's see. Yeah, but they're both back to back in my rankings. I just have Atlanta a little bit higher.
Okay. I think they're both really good options.
Yeah, I agree. Both top 5 probably plays at defense this week. We have Gibson or Swift PPR.
Give me Swift. I know it feels good to start Gibson because there's always been hype around Gibson, and we're like, man, he gets all the carries this week. But especially with Jalen Hurts potentially being out, even if it is Marcus Mariota, they're going to rely on that running back room super heavily either way. So give me Swift.
Yeah, I agree. Abid says, "What's up? What's up, man? How you doing?" He says, "Should I start Mostert or Achane?" I would go Mostert.
Mostert for sure, but I know he might ask this question again, but he had like an interesting flex with Achan, even though
Okay,
he does have Mostert. So
fair enough. Ferguson or Kincaid?
give me Kincaid.
I'm going Kincaid as well. Quinn says, "Pick 2: Spears, JSN, Jaden Reed, Kincaid." I would be going Reed and Kincaid.
Yeah, I'd be going Reed and Kincaid too. It's close between JSN and Kincaid, but especially if Geno Smith isn't starting and it's Drew Lock, give me Kincaid.
Yeah, Reed's going to be a really good play this week, though.
Yes.
Howell or Fields? I'm going Howell.
Ooh, let me double check this one. I actually have Justin Fields a spot higher, but JC, whoever you really want to feel, I like they're so close. It's good
Yeah,
matchups for both.
yeah. I think I have them swapped just because of the Cleveland defense, but I know they have a lot of injuries there too.
I was gonna say that, yeah. The Cleveland has their 2 starting safeties are out today, so I felt like that also kind of bumped. I did bump up Fields in my ranking, so technically, Hal was ahead earlier about
And
last
now
night.
it's
Yes,
swapped.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
fair enough. Raul, appreciate you being here, man. He says pick 2: Zeke, Mostert, Gibson. Standard scoring.
Mostert, Zeke.
Mostert, Zeke for me as well. Abid says I have Kyron is my main RB1, and then he was deciding between Mostert and Achan. I think that's fine. I'd go Mostert and Kyron. Schultz or Goddard?
I'll be going Schultz.
Schultz. I think I'm gonna go with Goddard just because of no CJ.
It's both way. I
I
put
know.
that into consideration, but then I also was thinking, like, I was like, well, they're gonna have to throw the tight end. Like Mills is so, but then it's also like, well, Goddard could be playing with
I heard
Mariota.
Case Keenum is the starter today.
Is Case Keenum the starter? I guess I didn't
Yes.
even check.
Yeah,
Okay,
I heard
well,
it's Case Keenum starting today.
maybe that changes my opinion here. You might be convincing me. You know what, Quinn? Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. Go with Goddard. I think I'm leaning here with Andrew after my boy Davis Long Neck Mills ain't gonna be starting.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that's interesting that they ended up not going Mills. But apparently Case Keenum's the starter today. So if people picked up Mills thinking that he was just next guy up to fill in for Stroud, they got burned yesterday when Keenum was announced the starter. But Nino says my Lions theme team fantasy did wonders for me yesterday. Dude, I had Jameer and Laporta on multiple teams, and yeah, it looks like I'm gonna be playing next week too, because I'm probably beating all my opponents.
That's my biggest regret from this season. I didn't have like hardly any Laporta, and that just bit me in the butt because he's a
Yeah,
menace.
I had way too much Jameer Gibbs. Like I don't think there's a single team that I have that doesn't have Jameer Gibbs. And I tweeted it at the beginning of the year. I said, how Jameer Gibbs is this year is going to make or break how much I enjoy fantasy football this season. Because if he's good, I have him on every team. If he's bad, I have him on every team. So it's going to all weigh on Jameer Gibbs. I'm betting the whole house on him as a prospect. And so far it's worked out. So yeah.
There were people, I forget, this would have been like week 7 of this season, and they were like, "You told me to draft Bijan in the first and Jameer in the third, and let my teams like 2 and 4." I'm like, hold the phone, it'll get better. And like, think about it right now. If you had Bijan and Gibbs as your RB1, RB2, you'd be like ecstatic.
Yeah, I have that, and I'm very, very happy. As in one league, I
I can
literally
imagine.
took I took Bijan 101. No, I took Bijan. Yeah, I took Bijan 101 and Jahmyr Gibbs 103 in a rookie draft in a dynasty, and it was like, yep, I'm good, man. I don't need to worry about running backs for the next like 3 years.
3 years.
Uh,
You're loaded.
and I already had Jonathan Taylor on the team, so it was like, why not? Now I have the luxury to trade one of them and kind of gain some more assets. But Brandon says Chase let me down yesterday, and I'm intrigued by Aaron Jones' upside without Dylan. Would you start him or Brees Hall over Puka, Evans, or Diggs? Full PPR, and I'm still projected to win by 10.
No.
No, I would not either. And it sounds scary because he's kind of been on a slump. He's kind of been burning you the last couple weeks, but there's no way in hell that I am in the playoffs benching Stephon Diggs.
No way. I'm exactly with you.
There's no way. And Raria says Stephon Diggs or Jaden Reed. To me, it's a very big gap between the two. It's Diggs.
Yeah, I mean, as much as Dayton Reed's been on this absolute heater, you got to start your studs when it comes down to it, and Diggs is a stud.
Yep, I have Diggs as a top 6 play in Dallas this week. I know the slump is there, but it's just this is one of those guys that is just so good for fantasy football. The floor is so high. I know, like I said, it's been lower the last couple weeks because he's just been in a little bit of a slump. I cannot bench Diggs. Cannot do it. Waddle is the wide receiver one against the Jets or Jaden Reed against Tampa Bay. Probably taking Waddle, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's a discussion to be if this would be more of a discussion if Tyreek Hill was playing, but for me, I'm easily going with Waddle here.
Yeah, I agree. Godwin or JSN?
Give me God.
The dog, man.
The dog's going insane right now.
I would go Godwin as well. Case Keenum or Flacco? I'm going Flacco.
Yeah, give me Flacco.
No Nico today. Titans might be a play this week at defense too. Maybe a decent play there, especially with Keenum at quarterback.
I think it's fine.
Full PPR, pick one running back, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Kyron, White, Ayuk, Waddle, Diggs. Really, the question is just pick one guy to sit, and just pick one guy to sit. To me, it's this is a tough one. I think it's Waddle for me.
Yeah, for me, I think it's going to be Waddle too. It's tough. You got a lot of good options here, Jonas, but I would be going Waddle. He's going to be getting, shadowed by Sauce Gardner, and we've seen what Sauce has done with other top level wide receivers, and so I don't necessarily know if Waddle's there. I think it will get the targets because who else are they going to throw to? But with these other great options, set Waddle.
Yeah. They said yes, it is Keenum today, so there's that. My league is also a 2-week playoff format, so there you go. People have no patience. That's why I rake them over the coals on Twitter when I get cranky. Should I just play Flacco versus Bears or grab Mariota and wait to see if Jalen can play? What do you think, man? You waiting?
Yeah, I think there's like a clear gap. Like I feel like the top 8 quarterbacks that we kind of talk about, like, so if you let's say like if you have like Lamar, Dak, Purdy, Mahomes, Stafford, or Fields or Howell, I feel like you're probably playing those guys this week over Jalen Hurts when you have to make the decision today. If we're talking like, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, even like Tua, like maybe that's your QB2 for some reason, like just pick up Mariota and like, let's wait this out until tomorrow. And then worst case scenario, you have to start Mariota, but it's not the Mariota from the Atlanta Falcons offense. It's Mariota who has AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, DeAndre Swift in the backfield. So like,
yeah.
And Dallas Goedert, who we talked about earlier. So yeah. I'm probably just waiting to see. I'd grab Mariota and wait to see if Jalen can play.
Yeah, because if you can play Jalen, you'd rather play Jalen. That's what you'd rather do. But let's see. Rarius says Miami defense or Falcons.
I will be going with the Falcons defense.
Yeah, I'll be going with I don't mind either. I think both are good plays. I'll probably be going with Falcons defense as well. Quinn says I got confused on your answer for the question. Was it Goddard or Schultz? I leaned Goddard.
Quinn, I was an idiot. I said Schultz, and then I was confused on who the starting quarterback situation was. Andrew then laid out his points, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to defer to Andrew because I was the idiot on this one. So I would go with Goddard. as well.
There you go. Rock Out says PPR, one flex, Walker, Keaton Mitchell, McLaurin.
I will be going with Walker.
I will go with Walker too. They probably have to lean on him a little bit in this
And
matchup with Drew Lock.
I need to give you a shout out, Rock Out. I forget. I was watching who was it? My friend Notorious Fantasy, and I saw you comment, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's Rock Out. Like I love seeing you guys in other creators' chats because I'm like, shout out to you guys for showing up, being here. It means the world.
Yep. Element says, yo, Puka or Brandon Cooks. I go Puka.
Puka puka puka. That's
There you go.
that's his Dallas Cowboy bias though, there for Element.
Probably. Quinn says, I benched Brandon Cooks in a league for I was gonna play him until I got the news on Godwin, and then I just threw Godwin in over him. But let me ask you, because I'm having a lineup question. Before we actually let's answer Quinn's real quick, and then I'll ask you my question, Caleb.
Okay.
Kyler or Tua?
I go with Kyler.
I go Kyler too. So my question for you, Caleb, is I am struggling in a league right now. This is a 1.5 tight end premium. I am playing against the team who has Tyreek Hill. So got a little bit good news today, obviously not having to play against Tyreek Hill. But I have to make a decision between Brandon Cooks, Cole Kmet in that 1.5 tight end premium, and JSN and Chris Godwin. Those are the four guys really that I'm deciding between. I'm leaning Godwin, but that's what my mind is telling me to do is go Chris Godwin. But my gut is telling me that there's this is a Cole Kmet week. My gut's telling me play Cole Kmet for some reason.
This is when I heard it, I think Godwin instantly for me is like, I feel like we're
That's the
talking
safe.
8 to 12 points.
Yeah.
But if Cole Kmet goes brazy, catches 3 catches for a tutty, you're going to be like, crap, I should have gone Cole Kmet. I just, and then
Especially, I was going to say, especially because it's the premium. So, if he gets, I mean, I was looking at Cole Kmet, and obviously, on the course of the season, his highs are a lot higher than what Chris Godwin has been doing. His highs are 20 point, 25 point weeks. And that's when he's catching a touchdown and, 6 balls or whatever is the end of the day. But he also has the ability to go out there and give you 2 catches for 20 yards and 0 touchdowns and give you 5 points. And that would not be what you want to see. But with that being said, Godwin, he's pretty much giving you, like you said, 10 to 15 points most weeks and nothing crazy there. But the matchup's a little bit tough against Green Bay. But I don't know. I've been struggling with those two. And I think I ruled out JSN with the Drew Lock stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to play JSN.
You know what though? JSN, if out of any of those wide receivers though,
He has
JSN,
the boom potential.
connection, well, the boom potential, but he also got that connection with Drew Lock. Like all those catches that got us all hype in the preseason were from Drew Lock. But I don't know. I wouldn't risk it when I know I have Chris Godwin as a safe option. I feel like it depends too, like who you're playing. I think I still lean Chris Godwin over Cole Kmet. I'll eat it.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe, oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna tilt over this for the next 30 minutes until game time. Actually, it's what 45 minutes.
Yeah,
we'll give me 20 minutes to tilt privately in my own and just kind of, pray about it and shake and convulse just over Cole Kmet and Chris Godwin because this league means the most to me. I think because 2 of the last 3 seasons I've been the champ, and if I could go 3 out of the last 4 seasons as the champ, I would love it. So let's see. Let's get back to these questions. We do have Justin. He says McBride against San Francisco or likely versus Jacksonville. I had this question in my Discord actually a lot this weekend. We discussed it pretty in detail. I lean McBride.
I lean McBride as well.
Schultz or likely? I would go likely.
I would go likely as well.
Raul says Jaden Reed at home or McLaurin at the Rams. I go Reed.
Reed easily. Yep.
Element says I'm stressing because Tyreek and Nico are out, and the dude started Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra and Laporta. He has so many good players. Man, he just got Detroit lined last night, and now he has Tyreek and Nico out. That's tough. You're playing from behind. So my one suggestion would be at this point, you feel like you're already backed up against the wall. shoot ceiling in every lineup. Like if the guys are risky, but they have a very high ceiling, just play them. See if you can get some boom weeks out of these guys, like some
Yeah.
of the H-hands and some of the other stuff we've talked about if you have them. Peanut Butter Jelly Time says this might be a Kmet game. Ward is playing and probably shadowing DJ. See, look, man, I feel like something tells me Cole Kmet's going to be in the end zone today. And it's
All I
just,
know is I got too many DJ Moore shares. I don't care my former Buckeye good cornerback for the Browns is shadowing DJ Moore. DJ Moore better put up a stat line. That's all I gotta say.
I'm just feeling the fantasy vibes are telling me Cole Kmet's in the end zone today. We're going to see that batting celebration that Cole Kmet always does. But we'll see. Do you think Dak and CD can pull out a miracle?
For his fantasy team?
This is because
And
he got Detroit
yeah.
Lions.
I mean, shoot, if
Of
anyone
course.
can, I feel better about Dak and CD than I do if you have a Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stack right now. So, and I have plenty of that stack that I need to go off tomorrow night. So, yeah, I'd feel good, Element. I mean,
Yeah,
you got a shot.
I got some AJ Brown that I'm relying on as well. But Dak or Mahomes with the weather.
I'm going with Dak.
Yeah, man, I think I go Dak as well.
That's terrible to say. Mahomes has just let me down bad.
Yeah. Want to ask this with both of you now: Spears or Keaton Mitchell?
Oh,
Where do I have them?
I feel like you gotta go. I feel like you gotta go Mitchell.
I have Spears over him still. I feel like this is weekly that you and I are on stream and I'm picking against Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, you're a hater.
I know that's what it seems like, but I'm like, bro, I feel like I just would rather have Spears in the lineup. That's where I'm at.
Let's be clear though. The last two, this is the other thing that I feel like might have your bias a little bit. He went up against Indy, Miami. Both of the game scripts were pretty good for Tajay Spears in the second half. Now, Houston are they going to like be in a? I guess they probably will. They'll probably have to run Tajay in the second half.
Yeah.
Mitchell, it's the same thing. Mitchell has the upside. I feel like Spears has the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I lean Spears, but it sounds like you lean Mitchell.
Yeah, but Quinn, I don't know. I'm not convinced that I'm right here because I think we just talked about Tajay Spears might go off in the second half. So
yeah. Element says I got Dak, Mixon, Kyron, CD, Puka, Kittle, Rice, Dallas D, and Brandon Aubrey. Man, this is the Cowboys bias, ain't it? No, I'm just kidding. You got Dallas D, Brandon Aubrey, Dak, CD, but you do have a good team. Kyron, Puka, Kittle. You should be solid.
Yeah, the Rams,
plenty of upside here.
That's what his team is.
Yeah, this should be plenty of upside, and he says it's a possibility. So I see we got a super chat in here from Raul. He says, "Last question: Pollard, ETN, Gibson, choose two. It's standard scoring, or I can drop OBJ from flex and put the other RB there. Thanks for all the help." So really pick two guys out of OBJ, Pollard, ETN, Gibson.
Yeah, give me all three running backs. I'm dropping OBJ. See ya.
I agree. That's where I am at as well. Pollard and ETN are miles above the other two options, I think. But
yeah, it's between Gibson and OBJ really for me, and I'd go.
Gibson should have some upside. It's standard, so you're not going to get all those little PPR points that Gibson probably will give you. But I think at that point, if you're betting on a touchdown, I want to bet on the running back that can, get a goal line carry. So appreciate you, Raul. Always supporting the channel means a lot. Appreciate you being here, and hopefully that answers your question. Maverick says start 3 PPR: Waddle, Rice, DJ Moore, Swift, and Smith.
I will be going with DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious.
Waddle,
yeah. And then it's between
Smith
and Swift. Yeah, and for me, knowing that we don't know who this quarterback's going to be at this point, give me Swift.
Yep, I agree. That's exactly what I was doing. Says dang, Olave is out. DK time. It's a good fill-in for Olave. I'm going against the defending champ. I do need some boom potentially because my team was supposed to be a rebuild. I did have St. Brown and Laporta last night, so it's looking like an upset. Nice. If you had some Lions last night, you're probably feeling good today.
Quinn's got some good dynasty teams too, so I'm surprised he said he was down because he's got a solid squad.
Yeah. Bryce says Aaron Jones or Amari Cooper flex in PPR. This is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I want to see where I have, because I'm actually decently okay on Cooper. I think he's going to be decent this week. But I would go probably Cooper still.
I still have Cooper, but I mean, when can we actually do you really want to be rolling out Aaron Jones, maybe feeling confident for
Trying
the
to
first
trust
time
him.
in the playoffs? Like,
Yeah.
granted, can we really trust Amari Cooper either? This whole season's been a roller coaster for him, but I still lean Cooper, even if it is rainy. Joe Flacco, trust the veteran. He knows how to throw a wet ball.
Yeah. I had to make a decision earlier in the week because of yesterday's games, but I had to. Do I roll out Aaron Jones and trust Aaron Jones, or do I roll out Ty Chandler and roll with the unknown? And I went Chandler, and looks like it was a pretty decent decision. Raul says, you guys are awesome. Let's get those W's. And that's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to win these championships. That's what I want. Lukey says, with Tyreek out, do you think Achane will get more touches? Probably.
I think probably, but to be the way that he's been banged up and injured, I mean, I feel like we're still gonna be on a pitch count. I mean, this is what, like when we were talking earlier, Luke, like I got a decision that Andrew helped me a little bit, but it's like Swift versus Devon. I have to make that decision for my RB2 spot in the league because I have too good of flexes. And like I think Devon's probably, like we said, that has the highest upside. Like I could regret not playing him today. But at the same time, we know the Miami Dolphins have bigger aspirations as just beating the Jets today. And so if they're willing to hold out Tyreek, I feel like there was even reports last night that Devon wasn't even they weren't even going to be playing him. They pulled someone off of practice squad. So I'm just a little bit worried about Devon, honestly. But it's that same thing where we've had weeks where he's this whole situation we've played out, and then boom, 30 fantasy points, and I look like a dummy. And then, or there's the weeks where we think he's fine and healthy, and then he pulls that knee of his, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's also real potential that this game is just very, very ugly with no Tyreek Hill, with no. I mean, obviously, on the other side of the football, you have Zach Wilson and this Jets offense. Like, it could just be a very low-scoring, ugly game in general. So that's always in the outcome as well when you're missing key pieces to an offense. Element says, "I got Tyreek, Josh Jacobs, Nico, and Tank on out or IR. That sucks, man.
That's bad luck, man.
Bad time of the year for all these injuries." Quinn says, in one of my leagues, I'm going to be a dirty dog and pick up Mariota because I'm playing versus Hurts. Smart. I think playing defense is fine in the fantasy playoffs. Why not? Quinn says, wait, even with the weather, you guys lean Flacco over Keenum? He said, I had a rain game problem in Cleveland last year and it burned me. Now I'm scared. I still lean Flacco.
Yeah, I did too.
Raul says, oops, I lied. This is really the last one. Kamara, KW9, Achan, Gibson, start 3. Who are you playing out of those 3? Kamara's for sure playing for me.
Kamara, yeah. And then I'll go Kenneth and I'll go Achan. I mean, I think that's the fine line of Gibson. We know is going to be getting the touches, but I feel like we're talking upside here. And so if you have, I'd want the other 2 over Achan and Gibson. And so between Achan and Gibson, I want the upside there with Achan.
Yeah, I agree. I would rank them Kamara, Achan, Kenneth, Gibson in that order. So I guess Gibson's the guy left out. Quinn says that Miami New York game screams big Mostert day. Yes,
Hopefully.
it does.
I need a lot of Mostert today.
Peanut Butter says defense wins championships. Quinn, he says I just did it. LOL. Now time to pray Hurts is out. So,
hey, Quinn, don't be praying that. I need some Hurts tomorrow night. So for your boy, just hope he plays. I don't need a great game. Like just 20 fantasy points. That's all I need out of him.
I think playing defense is why is that controversial, Caleb? Why is that controversial? Because I've seen that on Twitter where people are like, if you're out of the playoffs or if you're playing your opponent and you pick up a player to block them, that's just dirty. Dude, we're playing for money here. Like we're playing for, this is competitive. Do you want me, like if we were playing a basketball game, you want me to just let you go buy me for a layup? No, bro, I'm gonna play defense.
No, it's absolutely crazy. It really is. I feel like the thing that tends to happen sometimes is you don't want to be that guy. Like a lot of us don't want to be that guy. So it happens. It happens. But
So here's a thing. I played some defense in a league earlier this week, multiple ways. What I did was I knew, so I'm the 4 seed, um, or I'm the 3 seed. Yeah, I'm the 3 seed. So I knew that the way that the bracket was set up, that if somebody in the other game, the 4 and 5 game, if they won, there was a specific opponent that I would much rather play than the other guy. But he had some guys hurt, and so I was like, well, if I pick up Ty Chandler, I have more fab than him. If I pick up Ty Chandler, it'll block him from getting the replacement, and he's more likely to lose his matchup. Plus, then it gives me a piece that I can flex in my matchup that's going to help me win. And then I played defense on the other guy that I was playing because he had CJ Stroud, and I just picked up Nick Mullins and some other guys to, give him very limited options at the QB position. And so now I'm going to win my matchup, and the guy that I needed to lose is going to lose his matchup. And so it worked out fine, but people were saying it was dirty. I'm like, bro, I needed to make the plays to make sure that I have the best chance to win the championship.
people hate it when you're playing checkers, not chess. That's really what it is.
And I
Chess,
said,
not
look,
checkers. It's actually the opposite. You were
yeah.
playing chess. They were playing checkers.
And I was like, look, dude, this could have been prevented too if you saved yourself some extra fab going into the playoffs. You spent all of your fab. I literally won a bid for $1 fab. And if you would have had $2 fab, you would have beat me, bro. We got a super chat here. He says Likely or Waller.
Shout out, G's. I honestly, this is a hard one because I also have a lot of Waller that I'm rolling out this week. It's a great Waller has honestly one of the top playoff matchups for tight ends. I think in my heart of hearts here,
I can't trust him.
you can't trust him over.
I can't trust him. I'm going Likely in this question.
Okay,
I can't trust him.
so geez, type your team. I feel like we'll dive deep. Type in your team because the thing is, if I look at your team and I say, hey, listen, like you just need 7 to 8 fantasy points in your out of your tight end spot, cool. Like go Likely. But I think Waller has the chance to get that like 14 to 15 fantasy points this week. So that's where I'm struggling because I have a bunch of these same decisions, geez. But I think I lean here with Andrew that if you need the safe play, it's Likely. But like I said, Waller probably will end up going off because I'm saying that now, which is good because I have him in a few roster leagues.
Yeah. Quinn says it's a 2 QB league, and the dude has Mahomes and Hurts, and I have Flacco and Mullins. Leave me alone. I have to do it when I lost AR, Watson, Burrow, and Herbert. Holy hell. Says I have no Hurts. I need him gone. Peanut Butter says I'll be that guy
He's
to
gonna
playing
be it.
defense. Quinn says I deserve to be that guy. I'm out here fighting for my life. So it's it's that time of year, man. It's time where you gotta put up or shut up. It's fantasy playoffs, baby.
It is.
Judd says Achan or Aaron Jones. He says I have Mostert already. Does that change your opinion?
Yeah, and this was the question I think that was in the other one that I was talking about. I will be going it. It does a little bit, but not really because I think both are going to eat. They're going to feed both. So you get all the points. So if Raheem Mostert goes off and Devon maybe has a quieter day, then cool, you're good. But otherwise, I'm still leaning HN here.
Yeah, tough, dude, because I kind of want to diversify. That way I can play Mostert and Aaron Jones and not be stuck if the Dolphins have a bad day. But I think, oh man, I trust your gut here, Caleb. You say you want to play both Dolphins guys. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. G says Hurts or Stafford, Brees Hall, Chandler, St. Brown, Pittman, DJ Moore. And then he's deciding between Likely and Waller.
Yeah, I mean on the way that this team looks like, honestly, I'm probably going with Likely here because you just need some points out of that tight end spot. But depends on how the other team does look too. Geez, but yeah, I think you can't really go wrong with either option. I mean, you can. Waller coming off of his injury could be a little bit risky, like we were saying, but
And you've already had a fly or a high floor with the big week from Chandler and the big week from St. Brown.
Hmm.
So, and Pittman, I know he got hurt. He missed, part of this game, but he had like 10 points before he went out. So like it's salvageable from Pittman. It's not like it was a crazy down day. A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people um were really negative about Michael Pittman yesterday in the fantasy community. I really don't understand why, because the matchup was great. I mean, he looked like he was gonna have a really good day. I had him as a really top play. Dude got blown up, man. It was a concussion, bro. Like you don't project that type of stuff. That's not anything we can project. Um, bad ball from Minshew. I think that was on Minshew. He put a hospital ball out there and laid him out to dry. Um, but a lot of people were upset and bad about Michael Pittman. I don't get it, man. If you're upset about Michael Pittman being injured in the fantasy playoffs, you probably shouldn't be playing fantasy football if you're worried about a dude being hurt. We cannot project that, control what you can control. If you're upset about Michael Pittman, man, find a new hobby.
You know what? I just thank you for sending that law because I had two people that subscribed to me yesterday were upset that I actually unsubscribed because I told them to start Michael Pittman Jr. because clearly I can see into the future and see a dude getting absolutely, like you said, laid out because his
Yeah.
quarterback can't seem to. Tom Brady talked about that in his documentary. Like, you got to be clear, like, where you're throwing these guys on the field. Michael
Well,
Pittman Jr. had a top 7 matchup yesterday, and it's
mhm.
sad that he wasn't able to take full advantage of it because Gardner Minshew is a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Well, and you got to think about it too, right? Like from a logistical, not just like I needed 20 points out of Michael Pittman Jr. Now I hate everybody because Michael Pittman Jr. got hurt. Like, relax, bro. But also, like, think about it from a actual football standpoint. Like, Michael Pittman Jr.'s job is to locate the football and catch the football. He is not watching where the safety is at. He is not watching, if a linebacker is barreling down. He's not watching that. He's locating the football and catching the football. It
Yeah.
is Minshew's job, who is standing there looking at the defense, to locate the safety, to locate everybody, and put the football, like you said, Tom Brady talked about it, put the football where Pittman can make the catch safely and easily. And he put the football in a very bad spot where Pittman had to just dive for it. And he got
Yeah.
himself laid out. I mean, it's just bad. A lot of people were very, I saw some people on Twitter that were like complaining about KZ getting ejected. They said it wasn't right that he was ejected. I Look, man, it's a helmet to helmet hit. That's one of those hits that, like, yes, KZ probably didn't mean to make that hit like that, but it
No.
happened and get ejected, man. Sorry. It's just that's the rules. But anyways, that's my rant on Michael Pittman. Sorry about that. Chandra says, "Do I play Murray tonight or risk for Gino?"
Murray.
I go Murray as well. CH, Keaton Mitchell or Aaron Jones?
CH.
I go I think I'd go Aaron Jones, but I'm okay with CEH. I think CEH and Aaron Jones are going to be similar. I think
Yeah.
Aaron Jones just has a higher ceiling. Quinn says also picked up Drew Lock, so if Gino doesn't play, he will have no options. There you go. He says he's being evil. That's fine,
Yeah.
man. That's fine.
Someone's coming for you. Someone's
Just be
bleeding the
ready.
lead, Quinn.
Be ready, Quinn, because when you do that, it does bring a little bit of smoke. So be ready for the smoke, man. It's gonna come your way. And make sure you are in good standing with these fantasy gods because the fantasy gods will punish you if you bloat and rub it in the face of the guy that you blocked all his moves. Trick says all of these injuries, man. I got a first round buys in my league though, so y'all be safe.
Shout out to Tricks. Appreciate you tuning in on the channel today, even though you don't even care who you're playing because your lineups are safe until next week.
He said, "Y'all have fun though. See you next week."
He said, "Yeah, enjoy this."
Yeah. Isaiah says Romeo Dobbs, Adam Thielen, Hollywood Brown, and Fields or Lawrence. I go Hollywood
Yeah, I go
and
Hollywood and
Fields.
Fields. Oh,
Yep.
look at us. Look at us.
There you go. The real MVP says Hurts or Howell.
I feel like this is where we were discussing. I think Howell is the last quarterback I would start over Hurts at this point because, like we said, we don't know the. Of course, does Hurts have the upside? Yes. Could Hurts go absolutely bananas tomorrow? Yes. But is there a chance that Hurts plays 2 quarters and they are up reasonably and they pull him? that's also a very good possibility as well. So give me Hal here. Like we said, if you don't have one of these like top 8 quarterbacks that we kind of listed earlier, then just you wait on Hurts, pick up Mariota, and hope it works out. But in your case, the real MVP, go with Hal.
Yeah, I like how. KK says Rice, Flowers, Gibson, Devontae.
Devontae for sure. Rice and Flowers.
Okay. I go Devontae, Rice, and Gibson. That's where I lean. But
Okay.
um that solves pretty much 2 of those 3 questions there.
Yeah.
Um let's just give a little bit more help. Let's debate. Give me your pitch for Flowers. I'll give you my pitch for Gibson, and then they can decide between the 2.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Flowers, we're talking about the clear wide receiver one going up against Jacksonville. I mean, if we looked at what this guy's been doing the last few weeks, I mean, I know we had the bye in week 13, but 8 targets in week 12, 14 targets versus the Rams last week, 17 fantasy points, 21 fantasy points. So I just feel like when he gets 8 or more targets, we're talking about a player that's going to end up in the high teens to low 20s for fantasy points um, in full PPR. So, okay, I guess that also depends. We don't know of what format this is. So, like for
Yeah.
instance, if this is standard, then yeah, of course, probably lean Gibson. But if this is PPR, I just feel like the ceiling that Flowers has in this offense without Mark Andrews is very significant. So I want a piece of it, especially going against the Jags, who are nothing like what the Rams defense, or even I know the Chargers defense has been struggling, but nothing like
Yeah.
those defenses.
I have similar feelings. I think it's a good matchup for Zay Flowers. I don't mind if go with him. My thought process here though is that there's a chance that Gibson can similarly, and this is just assuming it's PPR again as well. There's a chance that Gibson can get a similar target number as Zay and still get some rushing upside and still get some goal line opportunities in the red zone and things like that. So I think for me, I go Gibson because it's a little bit of a higher floor play. And I think with Devontae and Rice, we're kind of talking about 2 assets that are a little bit riskier floors. And so I want to go with the safer floor in Gibson for the most part. So hopefully that, gives enough context, enough help both sides that you can decide between the 2, KK. Quinn says, if they get mad, I'm going to just show them my R list or my IR list of Burrow, Herbert, AR, and Watson. Peanut Butter says Quinn is bringing full thunder down on himself
He
now.
is.
KK says, yes, full PPR, and I have played J Jets, ALR. Who's ALR?
I've played Jets defense already. Like already. Just
Oh, and Jameer. So I want safe floors. Really, thanks for the advice. Oh, so he wants a safe floor. I think the safe floor. I mean, if you want safe floors, I might go. Does that change your opinion, Caleb? I might go Devontae Flowers and Gibson. I might remove Rice if I want a safe floor.
yeah. I feel like it doesn't really change anything for me because I still have Rasheed Rice above Flowers. So like I said, I have all these 3 wide receivers in the top 24 wide receivers. So I feel like that's a safe enough.
Yeah,
Like, yes, I know Antonio Gibson's getting the volume, but especially in full PPR, like I think Zay Flowers is actually safer than Gibson is in full PPR.
yeah. Quinn says I'm struggling to start Kincaid over JSN, and I don't know why.
It's because you don't like tight ends in your flex spot. That's what it is, Quinn.
He
Yep.
said I just hate starting 2 tight ends and no tight end premium. Yeah, that's why. Dude, oh my gosh, I gotta talk about this because I went on a debate. I had like a big long debate with my league last night, my home league of like guys I've been playing with since high school. It's a tight end premium league, 1.5 tight end premium. And guys had been giving me crap all year long because I had drafted Travis Kelce early in the draft. And then like with my last second round or last 2-round picks, whatever it was, I just was like, I kind of need a backup because Travis Kelce was dealing with the knee injury early in the season. So I was like, I kind of need a backup. I'll just take Sam Laporta. So I fell into Sam Laporta and Travis Kelce. So for a majority of the year, I was like, I could move one of these guys and kind of upgrade at a wide receiver position or something. So I tried doing it all year. Nobody, nobody was giving Laporta any type of respect. Everybody was like, screw Laporta. Don't want Laporta. He's a tight end. Tight ends are bad. Don't want him. It's the thing that you were talking about where it's like people don't want to put the tight end in the flex spot.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't want Laporta, blah, blah, blah. So last night I went on a debate. I was talking about because I posted all the offers that I sent because people were like, well, you were asking ridiculous prices for Sam Laporta. I'm like, no, I wasn't. Like, so I posted all these screenshots of like old trades. I offered Laporta for Devontae Smith straight up. I offered Laporta for DK Metcalf straight up. Offered Laporta and Zach Moss for Isaiah Pacheco and Dallas Goedert. I offered Brandon Ayuk and Sam Laporta for Keenan Allen and Pat Freiermuth. Like, these are the deals that I was sending out, and everybody's like, well, your price was so ridiculous that you were like, and I think it's because they were moving wide receivers like DK for a tight end. But it's like,
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, if any of you guys would have taken any of those trades that happened 2 months ago, you would have won the trades. I would have lost all of these trades because up to this point, Devontae has 193 total points. DK has 179 total points. Laporta has 210 total points. Like, and that doesn't even include the night that he had last night. Devontae's averaging 15 points per game. DK's averaging 15 points per game. Laporta's averaging 16 points per game. You guys just didn't like the tight end. And if you would have played the tight end that whole time, he would have outscored the guy you had. I don't understand what's been going on. For some reason, people are just, they hate the tight end, man. But and I get it, because when you get to that lower end tight end, like the Isaiah Likely's, the Cole Kmet's, those guys that are a little bit unreliable, like it's boom bust. Yeah, it's tougher to throw them into a flex spot. But when you're talking Kincaid's, Laporta's, Kelsey's, Kittle's, like any of these top guys, dude, you can play these as a flex like it's a damn wide receiver.
Yeah.
Like they're getting
Crazy.
a ton of volume. So anyways, that was my little rant. So let's get back to it.
Oh,
we
missed Chandler's
we missed a
question.
lot.
Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler says start Allen or Purdy.
Josh Allen for me.
Allen for me. Good talk about Pittman Jr. I felt the same way about Justin Jefferson week 14. I'm sure there were a lot of people pissed at JJ, but come on, you can't blame him. Yeah, man, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's just when it comes to fantasy football, man, we play a game that is unpredictable. We play a game where guys literally can physically get hurt, and like the player safety, the player health, the player stuff should always be much more important than your fantasy football team. Definitely is to them. I mean, goddamn. Like, but yeah, man, it's just you can't be mad about a guy getting hurt. That's just the uncontrollable. Control what you can control. Now, if you want to get mad that you chose to set a lineup and put a guy on the bench, if you want to be mad about that, fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. But you cannot be mad about a guy getting hurt. Jaden Reed or Adam Thielen? I go Reed. Yep. Going to take Keaton over Spears at my last flex. Is it Spears, JSN, or Kincaid? Kincaid. He says still Kincaid, right? Yep. Dude I'm playing has Dak, Fields, CD, AJ Brown, Cup, Waddle. Bro, that is a good team. He says I need the best damn lineup. Yeah, dude. I would go Kincaid. I meant to put Jaden Reed or Hollywood Brown. Reed.
For Reed. Yep.
My team is not supposed to be in the playoffs, but I'm here. Miguel says, hi, Caleb. Godwin or Shaheed?
We're going with Chris Godwin here, Miguel.
Yeah, I agree. We got Malik Mack in the chat. Appreciate you being here, Malik. Says, no one needs injuries. Yeah, nobody wants them, man. And Malik, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Give me a call. I want to talk to you. Super says, last minute emergency pivot off Olave, PPR. Options are McLaurin and Jigba, Zay Jones, OBJ, Shaheed, Gibson.
Gibson for me.
Yep, I agree. All right, man. Well, we are getting close to usually the time that we hop off. If you have any last minute burning questions, throw those in the chat quickly. We'll take a couple more minutes here just to let those roll in. But it's about football time, Caleb, and I got to tilt just a little bit.
Tilt.
Jamie says, happy playoffs, guys. Somehow my team is in playoffs, but injuries right now is my downfall. It's a lot of people's issue this week. Murray or Justin Fields?
I'm going with Justin Fields.
I agree. All right, guys. Last one here. Our lineup I'm running in the league is Love, Achan, Keaton, Ayuk, Reed, Kincaid. Had Minshew, Amon-Ra, Laporta last night. About to pull the upset of the century. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thoughts on Ty Chandler moving forward? I like Ty. I think the Minnesota Vikings need to just roll with Ty. I think he's looked in one game. He looked a lot better than what Alexander Madison has put on wax all year. Miguel says flex, full PPR, Lockett, Brown, McKinnon.
Lockett.
I'm between Lockett and Brown.
It's close. It's close.
I might go Brown just because I don't know if I want to trust Drew Lock. But I'm okay either way. I don't mind either way.
Does that? I know we talked earlier about one of my questions with Lockett versus Jerome Ford. Does that change your opinion with not knowing who the quarterback is between those two?
With who?
Jerome Ford or Tyler Lockett?
Oh, I think Ford is the safer play.
Yeah.
I think Ford is definitely safer. I think I probably do lean Jerome Ford at this point.
Okay.
Full PPR, Schultz, Okonkwo, Higbee, or Conklin. I go Schultz.
I go Schultz as well.
Isaiah says, appreciate the help. Isaiah. Trick says, no, my Madison stock shall not die. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not looking good. And then Jamie, last question here, says, Brown, Woods, or Wilson, deep wide receiver play with Olave being out. Those are the only players left on the wire, and I have Johnson on my bench, and he played yesterday, which caught me off guard. So Brown, Woods, or Wilson?
Yeah, I agree. You got to go Brown here as the wide receiver 1 for the Texans.
Is that Noah Brown or is that Hollywood Brown?
I assumed it was Noah Brown.
Okay, Jamie, really quickly, throw some more clarity in here. Is that Noah Brown or Hollywood Brown? And then Wilson, I'm assuming, is Garrett Wilson.
It's Noah Brown.
Yeah, he says Noah Brown. And then Wilson is Garrett Wilson?
No, I think it's Michael Wilson for the
Michael
Cardinals.
Wilson. Good call out. Okay. I think, yeah, Noah Brown's the play then, if that's it. He says Michael Wilson. So there you go. Noah Brown, Michael Wilson, Robert Woods. I'm going Noah Brown as well. So I'm with you, Caleb. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. We got 10 minutes until football time. I need to tilt. I'm going to tilt over Cole Kmet for about 10 minutes. Last one. Hollywood, Lockett, or Odell?
I'll be Hollywood.
I go Hollywood as well. But all right, man. Appreciate you, Caleb. If you guys have last minute questions, go ahead and comment on our videos. We'll answer these as quickly as we can, but especially if there's later games. But we will see you guys on our next one. Actually, Caleb, we're not doing another start sit stream together again, right?
Yeah, I'm traveling. I'm traveling next week. So sadly, this is going to be the last start sit stream for us. I will be streaming at some point next week to answer your questions for next week if somehow you get to the semis. But yeah, no, this is maybe we'll do something on the championship. I guess probably not because I'm probably still going to be away. But guys, like for real, we appreciate you guys. This has been probably the best part of us doing YouTube content is this Sunday morning stream with all of you. So appreciate all of you.
Yeah, man. But all right, guys, I will be doing start sits, and always, you can ask start sits too, because you just comment on Caleb's videos, you comment on my videos, you go join my Discord, you anywhere, Twitter, whatever, go find us. All of the links are going to be in the descriptions for you guys, but go find us, ask us start sits. Even if Caleb's traveling, he'll be able to answer them for you. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Jamie says no more injuries from here on out. Good luck, everybody. Hope for the upsets. So with that being said, guys, hope for the upsets. See you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace.